Hey, what's going on, family? So, today I wanted to talk about just kind of like get to the roots of why I started this page. Um, so a little bit about me. Um, I grew up without a male figure or like really any like consistent mentor in my life. So that's pretty much all this page is me sharing the thoughts, ideas, the lessons that I've learned throughout life from the mistakes that I've made. I'm a man, so most of my advice is going to be geared towards young men, but a lot of it is just relevant anyway, just because it's social experiences, some stuff everybody experiences, regardless of sex, regardless of age. Everybody goes through something. Um, I think for the most part, a lot of my life experiences are relatable to most people. So I try not to like limit the way I talk. But for a second, I do want to speak to a particular demographic. I'm seen as a black male in America. So I want to talk to the young black men and other people who identify as being black, African American, whatever, word you want to use. At the end of the day, how you're perceived does affect people. People can't help but to apply stereotypes in the back of their mind when they see you based on how you're dressed, how you carry yourself, how you speak, how you interact with others, the type of people you keep around you. All of it is completely relevant because perception, in all honesty, is reality for the people that see you. Um, the reason why this is important um, mainly boils down to, like essentially what I learned in life as a black male is that life comes down to what's left, what's left, like literally just that phrase, what's left. So, after a relationship, what's left? After you get somebody pregnant and they get a kid out of you and they decide to do whatever they want to do with it, what's left? After you get an employer and they get, a good 10, 15 good years of working you like a mule, you got hurt back, hurt knees, etc. What's left? After, you got a broken family and they don't want nothing to do with you, what's left? After all the drinking and smoking and hanging out with people that really don't mean nothing to you, or you don't mean nothing to them, all these busted relationships and burned bridges, what's left? um and I feel like in America, because I live in America, so I have to speak from that perspective. um I've been seen as a black man my whole life, so even when you're young, I mean, I've experienced things that I don't think too many other demographics have experienced, just because people approach me in a way like I'm a violent person. I haven't even done anything. They act like I'm gonna steal something from them, and all I'm trying to do is let them know she dropped a dollar, or speak to somebody and they, clutch up and walk away from me like I'm a criminal. Um, that's how people look at me. I mean, I'm not even like a violent looking person. I don't just walk around with my face balled up and my fist up like this. But I could be smiling, saying good morning, and having an awesome day, but people just don't know how to respond because of the media. Um, so what's left? People are going to take a lot of things from you. They're going to take away your pride. They're going to take away your, pride is a big one, honestly, because so many people have so much pride. And they keep refilling it. But they can take away your kids. They can take away your money. They can take away good years. They can take away your freedom. But what's left is like the question is always gonna kind of be there. And I see a lot of people let that get them down. They get all this stuff taken away, and that stuff's not really important. It really isn't. You can let your job humiliate you and take your pride away. You can let your baby mama talk crazy to you and take away your kids, which is, and some of your pride with that too. You can let, make mistakes and let the government take your money away. And, your background check is coming up bad. left and right to where you can't even get you a good job, a crib. You can't even apply for electricity or a phone. And that's messing you up for 7 years solid. But what's left? Like, that strength that, you have to define as you grow up is going to change quite a few times if you do it right. Because if you identify strength to be something outside of you, to be where, a certain amount of money shows, strength, a certain amount of prestige, having a house, having a car, whatever, having a bunch of friends, like, all this stuff don't really matter. What does matter is your ability to think. Your ability to think is always going to weigh more than anything else, because what's left after all that stuff is taken away is you. And what do you have in there? Is it just a bunch of useless garbage and social media, or are you actually, thinking like, well, all this stuff got taken away, not just once or twice, but several times. So apparently I need to do better. I need to focus my time and efforts to something better. So how do I do that is the question. How do I make sure that I'm better after every experience? So regardless of my interactions with other people, regardless of what people think of me, regardless of the situations and situationships that I find myself in, what am I getting out of it to be better? That's the question you always got to ask yourself, because what's left isn't like a question that makes you look like, everybody's drinking out of your cup and you got a sip left. It's not a quantity thing, it's a quality thing. So what's left is actually very simple. So you don't have any more distractions, because all those things equate to distractions. So what's left now is what matters, and that's you. So how do you take what's you and market yourself to the world in a way where you're not giving up anymore yourself? You're not sacrificing. You're actually making good decisions to where if you interact with other people in any way, shape, or form, if you work for an employer in any way, shape, or form, if you, get baby mama in any way, shape, or form, to where all these things are going to start working out better for you and you have control of them instead of letting them control you. Because that's where we find ourselves a lot of times when we start to question, what's going on, is because we're allowing somebody else to have the controller to our video game. And they dictate what route we take through it. That's not a good way to live, When you say, oh, well, so-and-so made me upset, they piss me off, they make me mad. Can't nobody make you nothing, unless you're a ball of clay and you just hand yourself over to somebody. They can't make you feel no kind of way. You gotta decide to control yourself instead of letting others control you. So I just wanted to let all the young men out there know, you're gonna go through a lot of things in life, but it's all just steps to learning. Don't beat yourself up too bad about it. Everybody makes mistakes. Everything that you've been through, somebody has been through. You're not the first person to go through it. So it's not worth giving up. And not just that, if you feeling like giving up, remember that feeling, because there's other people out there that feel the same way. So figure out what you have to do to survive through it so you can help somebody else from feeling that way. That's called empathy. But hopefully this video helps out somebody. Just feel free to leave me a message and let me know that I'm making these for a reason. Peace.